Ooh. Ooh. Oh my goodness. What is this? What does my eyes see?
What?
On YouTube, it still says we're only at 199,000 subscribers. But on Social Blade, oh, an update on YouTube finally? Yeah. I was looking on YouTube Studio.
Fake news.
Still saying we're at 199,000. Yeah, okay. Yeah, still says it on there, but Social Blade says 200,000, so I'm calling it 200,000. Yay, we made it!
Thank you all. Do much.
Yeah.
Do much.
So yeah, let's talk about the thumbnail. If you all haven't noticed it, the thumbnail I kind of messed up on making the meme. Thank you all. Do much. Yeah.
It's okay.
Haderpader. Yeah, I have my moments where my fingers slip, as Cyanide would say. But instead of banning someone from the chat for insulting me, I instead messed up the meme that is our thumbnail.
Well,
so
that's okay.
Have fun with that.
Well, you can only do much. So there's only too much you can do.
You can only so do much.
Yeah. But of course, do much here. Yeah. So yeah, we're here. It's 200,000 subscribers, and we have, good Lord, what a week it has been waiting for this to happen. I was hoping last week we would hit it sometime before the weekend, but Hey, we are
now is perfect.
Yeah, right now is absolutely perfect for us because here we are. It's the day of the podcast, and we hit 200,000 subscribers, which thank you all so much. Everyone out there who has subscribed to us, everyone who's been with us all this time, thank you so much for this.
How long has it been since you hit the 100,000 mark?
I think it was about 18 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I remember back then I shaved my head. And I took a ice bath.
Yeah.
I shaved my head, shaved my beard, and
in a trash can or something.
Yeah,
right?
in a trash can that was tipped over by my dad, and we
gave you a painful head shaving here at the studio.
Yeah. That's a little bit of a thing.
Of ice water.
Although, that's. Of course, the money we raised for that went to Chad. That was all for Chad.
I saw the video you guys have the car.
Yeah, Chevy Equinox, and it's a good car, and he's very happy with it, and it's making it to where he can actually go out and work a job, and also go to the wrestling school, and also work in projects with us and everything. So very happy about that. Thank you all for that. But right here, right now, the 200,000 mark is a mark I never imagined that we'd get to. I figured YouTube would have shut us down by now. I mean, really, I thought YouTube was just going to be
when
like...
you keep showing porn memes, eventually they will.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, that was an accident.
Yeah.
That was an accident. But...
Technically, it's not.
It was also
anime.
It was also anime.
It's art, man. Yeah. Breasts are art, man. Yeah.
And the way it's presented in the opener is absolutely art.
Yes, it is. It's Elfin Lead. What do you expect?
I love Elfin Lead.
But
speaking of art, do you guys want to watch this meme from last week?
Oh God, that's right. We still have a meme in the waiting from last week.
Mitchell donated $5 last week.
Oh, thank you, Mitchell.
We ended the stream.
Mitchell.
This series in the future is an old school gym. I love this series because I have a T-shirt of this series. That's how much I like it. I bought a shirt from the guy.
Right.
So this is the first one, and it's probably not going to have enough time to show the whole thing, but let's check out.
Yeah, let's see what's up.
And these get much, much better the further they go. The first one's pretty cool. They get way better, and they have a consistent story later on. So just keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, I've seen a few of these.
Oh yes.
The animation gets better later too.
Yeah. These were always awesome. This is old school internet stuff.
Yeah, this
right
is
here.
Newgrounds era.
When I first saw it.
Yeah, there you go. That guy in the background is losing his mind like, whee! Jesus?
Actually, Jeebus.
Jeebus.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing these cartoons back when I was like in 9th grade, 8th grade or something. This was like 2005 time.
Yeah. Nice cannon, bro. Holy shit, he killed Jeebus.
It's Neo.
Nice shotgun. Nice knife.
And they did get better and better each
Yeah.
episode.
Like 38 if you count the zombies or something.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, though, that was pretty damn cool. I remember those a long time ago.
The first one doesn't really start the story, but the second one starts the story and it keeps going. It's
Ah.
fucking epic.
Yeah, eventually it gets like John Wick type stuff where he goes through different places
There are
and
multiple characters and multiple protagonists.
like henchmen and stuff. And
Yeah.
they keep sending waves of ninjas and lost people after them.
But-
They just
The
can
best
do
part is
nothing.
There's a clown named Tricky.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember the clown.
He activate, or they at one point activate this thing called the improbability drive, and it just starts basically tearing apart reality.
Yeah, that's
And
from.
the clown becomes like super fucking immortal and overpowered. And it's crazy.
Like
He comes
Sweet
back as,
Tooth.
like different monsters and stuff.
you're gonna die, clown.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Hey, Nick. I think I forgot to switch up the donation link again.
Oh.
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Oopsie
Or you go,
poopsie.
Whoopsie.
Where do I even switch that out?
Edit up at the top of the YouTube screen.
So we got any questions in the chat?
Oh, you have an old description overall in here, actually.
Really?
Yeah, you're clicking on two old streams. You need to click on the gaming streams to copy and make these.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Sarah Williams says hi to all of us. Hello, Sarah Williams.
Hello, Sarah Williams.
Hey, Sarah. So, yeah. Oh, I said I said Sarah on here and it activated Siri.
Siri's like, you talking to me? I'm like, no,
No.
shut your mouth.
Shut
No,
the
no
fuck
one's
up,
talking to you,
Siri.
Siri. No one's
Nobody
talking
talk
to you. God.
My Google does that all the time. It just light up in the corner of the room.
The
I'm like,
yeah, the
nobody
voice
asked.
activation thing is cool until anybody in the room fucking says it or whatever.
Yeah.
Just, and out of context.
Yeah.
Not
At my work,
looking
we
for
say
it.
the G word, and everybody's phone plus the home and the other, everything goes off. Everybody's phone's off. Like, really?
Yeah, I
It's just
wish
like
I was
receiving a
interested in
message
using
through
it more.
Xbox that literally, when you had your Connect it's like, that went Xbox off.
Yep.
I remember getting one of those.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's
I
the
don't
only
have
thing
a
I used the
Kinect.
Connect for was just so I could turn it on and off.
I was like, I don't use a Connect.
Yeah.
I didn't use it either, but man, it's really cool to turn it off and on.
It's gonna break all the links. Is the bad part when I copy it over. I hate how it does that shit.
Okay.
So I'll have to go back and we'll have to fix it next time. We'll just copy from gaming streams from now on.
Okay.
It's all updated.
Yeah.
I'm basically gonna have to take out a bunch of the links because it's broken. Like our
All right.
link and stuff.
Well, that's
That
fine,
one
man.
fix, but like I can't fix like the channel and stuff because it's red letters. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll have it fixed next time. It's YouTube still doing this new thing where they're with the live streaming stuff, which, oy vey, that's been a whole thing. That has been a whole thing with their new live streaming thing. It's like, oh, we disabled certain things on the old live streaming thing. Now you got to go from the new one. It's like, thanks for the heads up on that.
Yeah.
Media group.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Also, went over to help my mom earlier today, and her cat Bagheera, who is a very, very playful cat, had a fresh thing of catnip put in one of his toys, and by the time I got there, he was already like crazy, just like wanting to play. And I sat down in the chair in the living room, and all of a sudden here he is just like sitting there. I have my hand on the side of the chair. He like leaps up, latches on like this. No claws or anything like that. But then he looks over at me. He just goes, meow, just like wanting to play. And I'm like, okay, fine. And I just got down on the ground with him and like got him on his back and like scratched his belly and everything.
Okay, if you want to send a meme, refresh the page so it refreshes the link.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Out of all the some of the new cats that we got, like the
new kittens and everything.
The 3 that are kind of more grown up, like they're still adolescent or whatever. But one of them is awesome. He's like basically a reincarnation of one of my old cats. But the other 2 like to just fucking meow nonstop. They demand attention and will not just meow, but they'll get up on my desk and proceed to fucking, as I'm trying to work.
That's Lucy. Lucy's a bit of an attention getter.
Keyboard
back
cat.
and forth.
What'd you say, Nick?
Can you guys see that if I put that like right there?
Yeah, I can see that.
I can't.
No, I can't.
But this
I've got
got to
mine
look
pulled
this
up on my
close
phone.
to his fucking screen to see.
Yeah, I've got mine pulled up on my phone. So yeah, all things considered, I'm still everything that's happened over the last week or so. For instance, my mom had me babysit the cats for a little bit, and that was fun because the girls are all in heat and they haven't had their claws cut. And before anyone asks, no, we're not having them declawed. That's not humane. You're pretty much taking out part of their knuckle.
They made that illegal in like a couple of states.
Yeah, it's illegal in most states.
Yeah, which that's not right.
It's the equivalent of cutting your finger off at the first knuckle if you declaw a cat.
Yeah, effectively, and that's not right. What we've done effectively is like we've worked out a program where my mom holds them. I clip their nails a little bit. I make sure I do it right. Don't cut up to their cuticle because that's not how you do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a whole thing. But Bagheera, he's the only one that's out in the house because my mom's kind of making him like the house cat because he's got a really good personality. But when he's in a playful mood, man, he plays, and sometimes he plays a little hard because he like play bites you and everything, but sometimes he like goes a little too much and he digs his tooth in a little bit on you, and it's just like, hey buddy, that's not nice. And but god dude, and also in the last week or so Jake has officially moved in.
Yep, I'm over at the mansion.
Yeah, he's moved in now, and it's fun having him over and everything because every now and again I'll hear him in there playing World of Warcraft, and I'm just like, what is he? Oh, Warcraft.
Are you in the room across from the lab or the stream office?
No, he's actually in the a little private office down on the first floor.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, down the hall. Yeah.
Pretty cool. I got like the bathroom right there next to my place. Not far walk from the kitchen either.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, and I'm surrounded by creative individuals constantly, so.
It works.
Kind of works out. You're always.
You're closer to the kitchen than I am going from the stream office.
Yeah, you're closer than me. And I'm right above the damn kitchen.
Yeah, you're right above it.
So, you're still working at the vape shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, we've heard in the news here the
yes.
FDA has decided to.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not really an FDA thing right away. They kind of got put under pressure. What has essentially happened is the FDA obviously was aware of the industry as it came closer and everything. Didn't have any significant evidence to do anything right yet, so they postponed it to, I think, 2022 with the deeming regulations. They were going to back off because at first they were trying to trial it as pharmaceuticals, where they would want every manufacturer of e-liquid to go through a pharmaceutical process. It takes about $250,000 per SKU. And when I say per SKU, I mean that's size bottle. Like if you got 0, 3, 6, and 12 milligram nicotine, and then you got 3 sizes, 30 mil, 60 mil, and 120 mil, that's $250,000 each.
Yeah.
That's just one flavor. So for one flavor, it would cost you a couple $1 million.
Only large-scale corporations can do it.
Yes.
Fucking what a surprise!
So what they're doing, and
again.
It's not that any other business can't go through the FDA, but no other business could afford to. But due to recent health issues and deaths, related to the new industry which comes out is so are you guys familiar with Juul?
Yeah.
You guys seen them?
Yeah.
They're at every gas station. They're
the most popular brand in the world.
Popular brand.
Yeah.
Well, Juul is manufactured, owned, and funded by Big Tobacco. And I'm not going to say like exactly which companies right now, but it's kind of funny how you get these deaths related as soon as this stuff becomes big. All right. Vaping has essentially been out for many years. It got popular about 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And if every health organization around the world is all pointing saying that it's not an issue, you had the popcorn lung thing that was diacetyl found in some of the flavors. Most of the industry pulled out from that. But you know where they found that diacetyl from? Big Tobacco.
Yeah.
The gas station juice and stuff. And it's like, no, what the hell? Why are these big dogs putting out harmful content when...
because they got to make every goddamn bit of profit they possibly can, so they'll cut corners.
And so now what is effectively happening is the government is trying to shut down the sale of e-cigarettes, putting regular vapor, nicotine, VG, and PG in the same category.
Which is nonsense.
This is nonsense because, I mean, I could drink a bottle of this shit and it wouldn't
never hurt you.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're all cleared. All those ingredients are cleared by the FDA.
And here's another thing too that bugs the absolute shit out of me. How many vapor-related deaths have there been in the last 2 years?
There hasn't been any deaths except for here recently.
No. Well, I'm saying
so total of 7 so far.
7. Okay, 7 deaths from vapes,
and they haven't confirmed that any of them are related to vapes.
Well, and here's one thing that gets me.
7 possible deaths.
Yeah, 7 possible deaths.
Yeah.
And that's confirmed within the last couple months. Jacob, answer me this. How many people die a day from cigarettes?
Thousands.
Like, in one day. Over 1,000 people die a day from cigarettes.
That's really...
And nobody gets on them about that.
No,
nobody.
But,
Not a single soul.
You're forgetting that the tobacco industry has to send their lobbyists horde out to fucking convince people that e-cigarettes are bad.
Well, of course they do,
cigarettes,
because they don't want to lose their foothold that they have on this market. No. And it's a lot like
the United States alone is 480,000 deaths per year.
That's more than 1,000 a day.
1,300 a day on average.
Oh my dear God! And they're saying that this stuff. What you've got right there, which has 7 presumable deaths within the last couple of months, is somehow more harmful than my ass. Ass.
And that's the shit.
Show me the logic on that. Show me the math. Show me anything that says that this is unhealthy. Show me anything, please.
It's the
please.
Same,
I want this.
It's the same fucking argument that pisses me off about the one Tesla that killed a person.
Oh, that.
A while back.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was a malfunction of the auto drive system.
Right, but in like 5 years of they've been testing these things on the roads now or whatever.
One death.
Yeah, 1 or 2 maybe. I mean.
What?
But oh my God, let's lose our fucking minds because this robotic car killed somebody. Let's just totally ignore the tens of thousands of people that die in regular
cars.
People driving accidents.
Oh yeah, a day. How many people die a day from driving
automobile
cars?
accidents are through the roof.
How many people die a day?
I understand that that systems need to be properly designed and everything, but let's fucking goddamn get rid of the fucking scaremongering of, oh no, we can't have this technology. What'll it do? It'll be too dangerous.
Every year, around 40 to 45,000 people a year die from car accidents. That's 1,000 a day, just like cigarettes. But yet, 2 people. Let's be generous and give them 5 deaths, just for posterity. 5 deaths out of the year. That is still 1/100th. Well, within a day.
I love like the fucking like Turing like test they try and the argument that they run with. Well, what if there's this one person that's walking across going across the street and the car has to swerve and then it runs into another person? What if that's a fucking human being behind the wheel? I mean,
it's the same argument. There's no
goddamn sensors.
The computer will come to a more logical conclusion than a human will, because human reaction, like the human brain, is probably the most complex machine that the universe has ever known. But at the same time, we can design machines that react faster, that have better projection algorithms and have better ways of solving problems than we could ever think of, because they're purpose built for that.
And they're self-monitoring. Machines are self-monitoring, so you can actually test results and get accurate feedback every time any type of mistake happens, like a statistic. Brains can't do that. We have to remember and rely on memory, and that's not very good.
Versus a machine that has it right there, ready to go. Boom,
numbers,
boom, 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 boom.
Ready
numbers ready to go out at the drop of a hat.
I didn't mean to distract from that.
No,
it's totally
these are relatable, because it's a fight against new technologies. From the old dinosaur techs who don't want to release their foothold on this thing because they're afraid.
Seems like a fight against intelligence.
Really, the biggest issue about it is they have put laws in place that are putting about 500,000 jobs under the table, 500,000 businesses under the table. People with no work, no jobs, people with families, kids, bills. People like you and I, and with no evidence whatsoever, just going out on a complete whim, saying, "Oh, these people said they died by this. We got to do something about this fast." And they're not really doing anything about it. What they are doing is giving all the power to big tobacco, to where they're monopolizing the market and controlling every bit of it.
You better believe they'll do this.
They're making it unsafe. How unsafe? I mean, like, something as simple as VGPG nicotine been the most successful thing in this industry, about a 8-year industry in this stuff right now, and they're not even using that. They're using quite a bit of different things to get their stuff out. They're using quite a bit of different chemicals, stuff that I don't even know how to pronounce. I don't even know what most of this shit is. And that was the biggest fear of when people come to vaping. Well, why are you vaping if you don't know what's in it? Bitch, we know exactly what's in it because we make it from scratch.
Yeah.
You eat it every day. You consume it every day, and you don't even know it.
Versus these larger companies that really don't care what they put in there, as long as people buy their shit.
Sweep up some dust off the floor and just shove it in there.
I mean, it's essentially like most your tobacco from cigarettes is paper. I mean, it's literally the shittiest part of a tobacco leaf. I mean, I was really big into cigars there for a while, and we went to a cigar festival where they actually hand roll them and show you and everything. We're talking about hand picked parts of these leaves and everything that sit in cognac for 10-15 years, some quality stuff, but that whole cigar was not near as harmful as that one little cigarette. Now, why is that?
Because it's the preservatives and everything else they put in the tobacco,
and there's no filter on a cigar.
What are the biggest cancer causers when people who ingest them? For instance, ammonia. Yeah. Why the hell do you need ammonia in friggin' cigarettes?
A lot of it becomes like filler shit. I think they just give it more weight and mass, make it feel like it's more wholesome.
And they've completely, like, unofficially admitted that it was to make it more addictive. The more addictive they can make their products, and the cheaper they can make it at the low efficient cost, and have everybody in America smoking, that's their product thing. I mean, do they not understand what is so fucked up about that? I mean, you're trying to make an industry that's safer, we don't really, there's some people that find this as a hobby and stuff like that, but to be honest, I just want my nicotine, and I enjoy vaping. I like good flavors out of it. Helps me relax, and I don't feel like I'm gonna undergo serious health issues in the future. All right, so if I'm vaping a Juul right now, which is untested by anybody else other than Big Tobacco, which is not going to tell you a damn thing what's in it, and they've made it more accessible. You can get it at a gas station. Parents go in there and buy it for their kids and everything. And then you also have a youth epidemic too. Of course, we've always had a youth epidemic of cigarettes too.
It's the name brand thing, dude. It's like Marlboro. Yeah. Marlboro was the name, or Camel, or Pall Malls, stuff like that. Name brand cigarettes. Juul is effectively the first of the vapes that was like that.
There was companies like Blue Sig and
Blue and E-Cig and all
a couple of ones, but those were all been bought out by Big Tobacco as well.
Exactly.
The Avail chain of vapors is owned by Big Tobacco now. That's why they have these such prestigious stores that you see everywhere. It's real nice, man. They got like suit and ties in there, and they teach you how to set it up and vape it and stuff, but they cost up the ass. They don't even hire people that vape, and it's like, what kind of customer service is this? But really, this just comes down to them monopolizing a market that they already own. All right, so they already own tobacco. This is an immediate threat to their company. They know they're losing, and so now they're having to use the government to literally scrap everybody and only allow them to do it. is bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit.
You better believe when it gets legalized, and I imagine marijuana will be legalized in the next 5 or so years, they will try and do the same shit.
Yeah, I guarantee it. Now,
every time. And they'll come up with, they'll do the same thing that they did here. Mm-hmm. They'll come out with their own version of cannabis, and then next thing you know, that version of cannabis is actually going to kill people, and then they're going to say, "Oh, well, all cannabis is dangerous now." No, that's not how that operates. No, it's individual responsibility. That's one thing that these news media outlets don't portray. They don't portray individual stuff. Like, no matter what story it is, you go and look at it.
I encourage
never
anybody.
Take individual basis into account.
I'm not gonna say any like direct claims on this, but I encourage anybody to look up your vice president. And look up what happened to vaping in Indiana when vaping first came out. And if you do some research on that, you'll kind of see how much of a money laundering scheme this whole thing is adding up. And I'm not like a conspiracy theorist per se.
You're not Alex Jones.
We knew this was going to happen. I predicted this to happen for so long. I was like, big tobacco is going to take this over. All this, the middlemen, the small mom and pop shops are gone. And these are not American-made mods. Most of our mods, I say most, are Chinese. All right, so we can buy this product legally over China, get it shipped here, not a big deal. But an American distributor cannot sell this or the vape juice or anything like that here soon. Depending, the state vary. New York banned it overnight. Indiana's banned overnight. San Francisco is banned in that area. They can't sell it in the city. And
so, like, the shops can still sell it if they, like,
no.
if you get import. Oh,
no.
So.
I mean, as of right now, we still can, but if it looks that this
so people
goes through,
if the national one goes through, then
you have to buy it like
it.
online or some shit.
I mean, of course,
you'll have to go through an official FDA approved.
Well, the thing about it is, all three of those ingredients you can go buy at Walmart, approved by the FDA.
Oh, of course, Walmart.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You see what I'm saying? But you can also buy the ingredients, you just can't sell it. So, of course, the people that work at the shops and stuff are going to be making their own juice. And it's going to be the same thing that you're running into now. You think people's going to stop vaping these things?
No.
Just because, they banned the sale of it? No. If anything, it's going to make them more dangerous because people's making them out of basements and regular people that don't know what they're doing, you know? We call it the flea market vape shops. Not that there's anything wrong with selling your vape juice at a flea market. Not a bad idea to make some money, but pay attention to what you're putting in there. If there's any ingredients other than nicotine, VG, and PG, don't vape it. So you hear this reference all the time called salt-based nicotine. All right, that's the new nicotine that goes in the Juuls and the little pods and stuff like that. Well, we don't know that much about salt nicotine yet. We do know that it's derived from nicotine in a different method that uses acids such as, I think, is it Byzantine acid or something like that? I might be saying that wrong. Don't quote me on that. But we really don't know the long-term effects of that one yet. We don't know the long-term effects of vaping yet because it's only been big for about 8 years. But in that 8 years, there has been hundreds of thousands of claims that they feel better, they taste food better, they wake up better, they don't cough up a lung, they're not coughing as much. I mean, just overall,
it just helps people quit smoking, period.
Yeah. I mean, and you start off with a nicotine strength that matches what your addiction is to cigarettes, which is typically about 3 to 6 milligrams, and then you taper off of it down to 0. I have a little bit of nicotine in here, but sometimes I switch between 0 and 3, mix them half and half, and you can taper off of it, and the goal is to quit vaping in general if you want to. First, in order to quit cigarettes at all, you have to want to. There's no running around it. I mean, a lot of people just can't come to the terms that in order to quit something or make a big change in their life, you have to want it. And if you don't really want it, you're not going to. You'll find any excuse in the world, It's kind of like vaping. Switching from cigarettes to vaping for me was easy. I thought, that's pretty cool. It tastes better. I want to start buying this instead. Some people, it's not that easy. If they've been smoking for a long time, 10, 20 years, they'll make up excuses. Oh, well, the vaping thing makes me cough. I'm like, okay, we'll go down on your nicotine. Yeah. Okay, well, it tastes better now, but I don't know. And the truth of the matter is they don't want to. If they don't want to, they're not going to.
I've told my mom 1,000 times that I recommend that she comes down to your shop and take a look at your pen, like what y'all have and everything, and it'll be easy for her.
One of the other things is we understand that putting foreign substances into your lungs, like VGPG and nicotine, is kind of unnatural, but so is tobacco.
Oh,
so
yeah.
is smoking cigarettes. And the best thing for your lungs is fresh, clean air. Mm-hmm. This is just to taper off with. It's not really something that you pick up if you're a non-smoker. Although we've known some non-smokers that don't smoke go to this just because it helps them relax a little bit. Something to do with your hands.
I mean, I've used the little blue things a couple times, but thankfully, I never got into smoking, so I just never really done anything.
Nicotine addiction or tobacco addiction is a very serious bad habit. I mean, we know this, but we do it anyway. I mean, many people do it anyway. Pick your poison. Somebody's got poison. Some people say that health concerns about alcohol or health concerns about eating cheeseburgers at McDonald's. I mean, we all do it anyway, and we know it's like straight cancer for us, but we still do.
Like for me, I was telling him, I think I'm probably gonna take a break with Monster. I'm probably, just because for like the first 13 years or whatever, I was just drinking one a day. But as soon as I got into my diet and it was very restrictive on what I could have, like the absolute zero Monsters were one of the few things that I could have. And so I started drinking like 2 or even 3 of those a day.
Jesus.
Yeah, and that's not good.
No, it's not.
And it fucks with me.
Hey, you got your Monster chairs.
It just fucks with me whenever waking up in the morning. It's just that's a whole thing. It's like, oh God.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed. Energy drinks messed with me more than anything was my sleep schedule, how hard I would sleep, energy crashes, and just overall just getting an overwhelming feeling of, okay, I've got to crash. Yeah. It's time to go to night. It's no, I don't get that normally because I don't have a really like addiction to energy drinks or any type of soda or anything like that. I do have a morning coffee in the mornings usually, and the rest I try to drink juices and waters and stuff, but I will cheat and have a Coca-Cola
that's the thing. I used to be real bad.
Alcoholic beverage or something every now and then.
I used to be real bad with sodas, but then like as I got in my diet and that became like you can only have so many diet sodas or whatever, like 2 or 3 a day at most, and I just kind of shifted to Monster, and I basically have stopped drinking sodas in general. I have maybe a Diet Pepsi every now and again, but I mean and so hopefully the same thing can happen with Monster. Now I've been drinking like the Lipton green tea type things and stuff. But
I usually stay away from diet stuff too, just because simply of how diet's made in a lot of drinks and everything. Sometimes different.
It depends. It depends on the sweetener.
Yeah,
like aspartame is in these, but I think the whole fear mongering thing about like the cancer. I mean, it could, but so can fucking everything else that's put in.
Dude, the sun gives you cancer.
I mean, it's
like that's a destiny right there.
I think the aspartame cancer thing is kind of overblown. But
well, so we have some memes. I think people sent us. Nick, how many you got?
We have 2.
Alrighty, let's see what we got.
One's from Freelancer Dan.
Freelancer Dan. Thank you very much, sir.
I just think of Lieutenant Dan from
Who could look at this title screen and not be like, I'm having a good time already?
Oh, that's right. Doki Doki.
Aaron, I know that you want these 2 minutes.
Probably, you might want to turn away.
Shut your fucking mouth and let him decide for himself. You shut your mouth!
Jesus Christ. This is never going to end. Just make the choice, okay? Well, I am not doing that.
Oh my God!
Oh God! Oh, it's going back to Monica.
Does it automatically?
It's a Terminator.
Oh boy!
I picked Yuri.
Oh boy!
Just
Monica then.
Monica.
Monica. Yay!
Yeah,
you Salvador, you sick son of a bitch!
You picked me.
Just stop talking to Yuri. Play with me instead. It's all I have. Play with me. Play with me!
Oh, shit! What the fuck?
Thank you, Dan.
What the fuck?
You've unlocked a special poem.
No, thank you!
Are you sure?
Yeah, right, I guess. Oh, boy. I hate this game. Tell me, friend Aaron. Tell me you want to be my lover.
Oh, God, the
You
Steve
accept my
Buscemi eyes.
confession? Oh, boy.
Yeah, this gets bad.
Ha 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 ha! Oh boy! Oh my God!
Okay.
Oh please!
It's a fucked up game, dude.
Oh shit!
I
think I saw.
I've never played
Miles
it.
and Luna play that on backwards compatible.
Yeah, it's something. Let's just say it's something.
So we got some news about E3 last night.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, E3 is apparently no longer a thing.
Really?
Well, apparently
they're changing, but
I mean,
they're changing shit up because of their huge leak that they had, and
they're
losing money.
I can see it because everybody kind of like these days just kind of either has their own little convention type thing, or they announce stuff a couple weeks before E3 or a couple months, you know. So,
no
E3,
room for Bender, huh?
By the
I'm gonna go build my own convention with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, forget the blackjack. Screw the whole thing. Yeah, but
I mean, you got Sony wasn't there at E3, Nintendo wasn't there, EA wasn't there. Who was it?
That's okay. We can do without EA.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fine. Also, the prices to get stuff displayed at E3 is skyrocketed. So, like your indie game companies and stuff like that are just not able to really afford that. Also, just the entire event in general has changed a lot. It's no longer a big celebration where they release news about games and show off what's coming out next, or anything like that. It's turning into more of a corporatized influencer thing.
Media outlet. It's gonna be more. It's gonna take the route that Comic-Con did, which I hope that they adapt the way Comic-Con did, but they're probably not going to.
I remember
because Comic-Con used to be about nothing but comic books. Now it's literally about anything. People come in there like
it's general pop culture.
Yeah.
The when you say the corporate thing with the game and stuff, something that really pissed me off, like when Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out, and there was the whole the microtransaction issue type thing. Like you could only play certain aspects of the game unless you threw money into it or whatever. It was it was an absolute goddamn robbery.
We were talking about the booth babes are gone too. They haven't had that for a little while now.
Yeah, and then of course Zombie Unicorn, Miss Natalie Casanova's got to chime in and all that. Be like, it's 2019, it's 2018 E3. Why do you have booth babes at your convention? Why do you have your booth babe? Why do you allow booth babes here? Truth is, they weren't booth babes. They were dancers. They were doing a demonstration for, I think, Just Dance or something like that. And Natalie look, if I want to go to Natalie Casanova for like how like morality and shit like that, hey Natalie, stop posting pictures of yourself showing off your butt, tagging it on your Twitter and saying, "How's my butt look?" I'm sorry, but the hypocrisy from that woman is like amazing. She's saying, stop objectifying women. Now, don't mind me. I'm just going to put on pasties and body paint myself. Yeah, I'm going to body paint myself. It's like, are you even listening to yourself?
I mean, does she realize that's what the modeling industry is for? I mean,
but with Battlefront 2, there was a whole microtransaction, uproar and everything.
Yeah.
And so EA backed off on it and canceled the store. And then I guess couple days later, whatever, somebody on fucking Wall Street, some stockbroker asshole, was like, EA is making a terrible mistake doing this. They're not thinking about the investors. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Absolute assholes. Fucking, I'm sorry that 150 whatever million wasn't enough. You needed $200 million.
Yeah.
No, the objective of capitalism is more. That's the eventual objective. Well, especially corporatist capitalism. More along the lines of regular capitalism, though. I mean, this is why I like Sony, because Sony doesn't play that game. Sony, they effectively. Like what they did for God of War and what they did for the Spider-Man PS4 game, they knew if they put out a great product, their fans would follow. And look what happened. Yeah. Their fans followed suit because they had Horizon Zero Dawn. They literally almost it wasn't until here recently that Days Gone came out, which was a buggy mess, that they experienced issues with their first party stuff. That's the only time. Before that, they had Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War. They had Persona 5. They had a friggin' Spider-Man PS4. They had all these great first party games, and people flocked to them. People flocked to and sold tens of millions of copies. But lo and behold, EA decides, hey, we're going to try for a quick cash money grab. We're going to tease people with a shitty storyline that won't make any sense. We're going to tease them with, we're actually going back to basics and rebuilding the multiplayer from the ground up. No, you did the exact same thing that you did in Battlefield 1. It just now costs people more to play the damn game if they actually wanted to compete.
I mean, I only got the game really mainly for the campaign. I was hoping that there would be kind of a... in the original Battlefront games, there was an online mode, I think, but when you could just play by yourself against like the AI bots and skirmishes and stuff. I wish games still did that. They don't anymore. But it forced you to play online, and I liked the Starfighter thing and that was fine. But I didn't ever really care about the multiplayer anyways. But it's just such fucking bullshit. Like there's an arcade mode in the game, but you can only play it for 30 minutes a day or some shit. Or 2 hours a day.
Yep, because, hey, you're having too much fun. We can't have that.
Because the whole point of the arcade is you can make credits like that you can spend in the store or something for it. And, well, we can't just let them have, keep making credits forever. They have to buy those credits.
This is why I don't like micro because people, I know we could bitch and moan all day about microtransactions. I'll say this.
It works for a free-to-play game.
It does. It does work for a free-to-play game, which, Apex, up until recently. Also, Warframe.
What's wrong with Apex?
Apex released a DLC. It was an item. To unlock it all the way, it was impossible for you to go through the game actually and unlock it. You had to pay, how much was it, Nick? $270?
$230.
200.
Way too fucking much.
$230?
Just to unlock a skin.
Or a skin for a hatchet that you only ever see whenever you basically kill someone with a finisher move.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
$230. EA, once again, stretching their legs.
Respawn actually fucking backed them on this bullshit because people who were actually Respawn devs got online whenever the fans were like, what the fuck, this is way too much money for this.
Yeah,
and
they
started insulting the fans and shit and just being fucking cunts, basically.
Oh, yeah, it's like, oh, here, let me straighten my tie while I suck off EA. Yeah, this is actually very logical. Yeah, this is actually a good thing. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me try this one over here. Yeah, so that's pretty much what they're doing.
Like the Battlefield 5.
Somebody was like, why don't you guys do stuff? They're like, we don't make sales by lowering prices on our stuff. And it's like, that's because you fucking charge people $20 no matter what to get any of your currency. So you can put something on sale for $5, but I still gotta pay fucking $20 to get it.
Now, to be fair, the argument,
sense.
I've heard the argument of should games be raised from because they're still, they've been $60 for 20 years or whatever. Should it be raised to something like $80?
So yeah, they've said $70 or $80, which.
I would be fine with that.
I would be more okay with that than the microtransaction bullshit. Right. But because it's a way for these.
There's no fucking way I'd ever be able to afford to buy games again if they all cost.
Well, but you see, this is where the scheme of capitalism, if it actually plays out, could run its course. Because then game studios would actually get more crafty with how they design their games, and they would actually give you video game companies out there who actually want to make a splash in the industry would actually release their game, their top level AAA tier game, but from an indie dev studio, sort of how Senua's Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice was made by a team of, I think it was 30 people, and it had such amazing quality and it's at a reduced price, but yet it's not. But yet it doesn't feel like a reduced price game, a low price game. It feels like a AAA title because of the quality that the creators put into it. Versus Mass Effect Andromeda, which had a team of over 600-700 people working on it, and it churned out I'm sorry, I'm tired. My face is tired.
Yeah, well, apparently for the facial animations, they use some
no, they use someone who'd never done animations before. They hired someone who never worked in animation before, and they gave the person the job because, hey, let's give him a chance. This is Mass Effect we're talking about. Probably your most successful franchise.
This is on my Facebook. I have to show you guys a meme.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
Roses are red, violets are blue. This is why Mom doesn't fucking love you. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good meme. That's a good one.
My mom doesn't fucking love you.
Yeah, that's an old. That's an old video. Kick us on with the next meme there, Nick.
Okay. This is from Mr. Original. It says, if I were to berate myself here like I want to do while doing this, you'd all readily agree with me, so I'm not going to do that. Not here.
Well, let's see what happens.
Japan is an island by the
Oh, Jesus.
filled with a billion people. In the year negative a fuck ton, Japan might not have been here. In the year negative a shit ton, it was here. And you could walk to China.
Oh, this is like a YouTube poop version of History of Japan.
It's like all cut up.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
I have too.
It's good.
And using the latest technology, like TVs, VCRs, automobiles, and crazy rice farms. Ding Dong is the United States, and they have technology from the future, like stones and bowls. And the League of Nations is like, no, don't do that. In the year negative a billion, it's supposed to use stones and bowls. Japan said, now you can make a lot of sex really, really quickly. That means if you own the dick, you own a lot of nuts, which is something everybody needs to hire a rich hipster, so that makes you king. Rice farming spread rice across the land, all the way to wasteland. The most important kingdoms were here, and here. But this one was not important. Ruled by a heavenly super-duper person, our emperor. Well, knock knock, get the door. It's that door! The new prince wants everyone to try rice. Please try this once, he said. Yes! Said everybody. And so the religion was put into practice. Then the rice was taken over by another clique. And they made some reforms, like making the government govern more, and making the government govern more like China's government, which is a govern more, which is a government that governs China's government, which is a government that governs more. Hi, China, they said. Hi, shit lips, said China. Can you call us, said Japan. So they called Sunrise Land on the telly to sort of let them know. And they stole China. Then they stopped moving the capital every time the emperor shit and kept it in one place for a while. So if you live outside the palace, how are you supposed to protect your rice from shit? Samurai. Everyone started hiring samurai. Rich, important people hired samurai. Poor people hired samurai. Samurai hired samurai.
Yeah, I've actually seen the rest of that.
Yeah, have you seen that?
He's actually got one called History of the World.
Yeah. That one. Chad hasn't seen that, and I want him to see. that.
The sun is a laser beam.
It's like.
A deadly
Are we gonna
laser.
go outside? No. Why not? The sun is a deadly laser. Not anymore. There's a blanket.
Oh my God.
Of course, I'm not gonna sing it because whenever we did whenever we did a reaction to that previously, Elena was there and she's seen it before and she sang and Jesus Christ, the amount of
she did it she sang like every time.
Jesus. Oh, okay. Okay, that's a different thing. Sorry, something popped up on my phone. I was like, what? Someone messaging me. And it's,
you gotta say it like, what?
What? What? All right, we have another meme there, Nick?
Yeah, this is from 8-Bit Ryan.
Okay. Thank you, 8-Bit Ryan. What we got?
Hi, I'm Gwen Stefani, and I have assembled all of my favorite musical artists to form a
Jesus,
supergroup with
Elise.
me, a band to end all bands. With me now is Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
To my left is The Cure's Robert Smith.
Hello, I'm feeling a little blue today. I don't know if I'll be playing.
At least it's not Morrissey.
We've got David Bowie.
Yeah.
Only Ziggy, as long as my paint is on my face and I'm not dead.
Thank you for
I
doing
don't
this
want
from
to
John
kill you, but
Gray.
my clothes are
And
made
someone
for
should have
death.
died a long time ago.
Everybody already knows my name, Elise.
Yeah.
It's Aaron Barrett. From Real Big Fish. Dun, 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 dun.
Real Big Fish. I'm a big ska band. Have you ever heard of ska?
You bet I have. It'll rule the world. What do you think it is?
When No Doubt came up with, Tragic Kingdom, it did.
This away.
It's like Kenny.
Totally accurate Bob Dylan there.
I like it when she goes,
Manager.
Oh, is there a ska entry? Can you be a ska band? No, man. It only has real music. What are we playing, Gwen?
We're gonna manage a band, a supergroup.
A supergroup? A band? I've never managed a band before that isn't entirely spiders. Gwen and I used to sing together in our own band.
God have mercy.
I like to watch the rest of that one.
Yeah, that's Funhouse. They have fun.
The thing is, I've tried to, I've watched a few Funhouse things. There's some that's a little obnoxious.
Yeah,
compared to Achievement Hunter,
well, here's the thing about
I think it's
Funhouse.
like the super camera zooms and like let's throw everything on the screen and everything.
Yeah,
it's a little much.
Funny thing about it though, Funhouse. I will say this: some of their moments are to me funnier than Achievement Hunter, which is why I watch like highlight videos of their stuff.
Yeah.
Like Best of Funhouse Volume 1. Dude, there was one thing, it was absolutely hilarious. They were talking about it's like, could you imagine like you were actually being able to contact people who were dead? Imagine if you tried to contact Brandon Lee and he came back as the Crow and he forgot he was actually Brandon Lee and he came back, he's like, I'm the Crow! Ah! and you were just like Brandon, are you there? I'm the Crow! Ah! And then he was just like, imagine if Brandon Lee were to have gotten in a car accident with Dale Earnhardt, and they both died again, and it was just terrible for everybody.
Sounds dark.
Sounds depressing. Well, that's James for you, because James, to me, I showed you the one like one of my first exposures to James was when they were playing Grand Theft Auto online, and this little kid was annoying the shit out of him, and James just had enough of it, and the kid was just like, they were just like, kid, how old are you? He's like, he's like, how old are you? Why does your mom still let you play this? I bet you still live in her basement. And then all of a sudden James comes on, he's just like, you know what, screw this little kid. Does your mother know that you're playing with a sex offender right now? To which everyone like died laughing, and the kid left the game.
Yeah.
Ma! Yeah, you just hear it in the distance. It's like the train passing by. We're gonna get that one next. All right, what's the next meme there, Nick?
Another from Mr. Original. It says this was a bad idea.
Let us be the judge of that.
Hi, you're a rock. Cool. Fuck water. Water isn't fucking hell. Fuck it. Most of it's hell. It's sad. I'm sad. A long time ago, in a far, far away, actually never, and also never isn't never. When? Fuck. Makes sense, right? That's why it's been everywhere. That's why it's been nowhere. That's how no it gets. There's a universe now. What's it made of? Egg. Stuff. Ah, that's an egg. In a place. Don't like it? Don't like you.
Try it at a different time.
Tired of living at the bottom of the hell? Now you can eat the sun. Using a revolutionary technique, you can convert the sun into food. The sun. Side effect, now the world is full of dead, and the sun is full of gone. It's a sponge. It's a plane. It's the Seljuk Turks. Wow, that's Turks and stuff. But we're still in the ocean. Hey, can we
Turks
go on
and stuff.
Why?
The sun is a deadly laser.
The sun? Oh, okay. Not anymore, there's a new sun in space. What's on the menu? Sunlight. Thanks, said everyone. Okay, so I can go on water, but I have to go back on the land. Babies! Learn to put eggs on an egg, in an egg, in the egg, in the egg, in the egg, on an egg. Water is in the water, in the egg, in the horse, in the egg, in the egg, on land, in the soil.
Oh!
Works for me.
God.
And now everything's frozen. Including bugs. Want to see a map of China? Sure.
Oh fuck, now everything's dead.
Fuck. Here's another map of China. Yeah, it broke apart. Don't worry about it. It does that all the time. Here comes a meteor. And the China's gone. It's been all the time. Here come the little people. Look at those rocks. Now they're going to learn how to grab rocks and bang rocks together to make.
I'm not sure that was a good idea or a bad idea, but that was an idea, and I'm not sure how to feel about it.
The original is already like.
Oh, the original's hilarious.
Hits you like real fast. And
oh yeah, it's Bill Wirtz, dude.
Right.
Bill Wirtz always works fast. I mean, I think that should be shown in history classes until the end of time.
It's like your intro class.
Yeah, exactly. The first day you show that, and it's just like. Now for the finer details. Let's start from the beginning. Unless your story starts at the Big Bang, it's not from the beginning.
But I don't believe in evolution.
It's pretty cool, like.
Well, it's sad. Well, sad for you, sir. You can relegate yourself.
I know.
You can relegate yourself to the corner. Feel free to do so.
It's so cool. Like the as much as YouTube has its problems, it's cool to see like a lot of creators that just put like. Historian majors or whatever, they just do all kinds of historian videos or history videos. And there's just like so much about like the Roman Empire that I never would have fucking learned in school, whatever, that I can watch.
Oh yeah,
on
well,
YouTube. And
there's all sorts
cool.
of interesting ones out there because there's Extra Credit. There was also one that
Extra
John Green did for a long time. I forget exactly what it was called, but there's all sorts of these channels out there, and the views that the videos keep getting are like crazy huge. And if the quality is great, it speaks for itself.
Extra Credits, I got into that like by the point they were like I guess 180 episodes in or whatever.
Yeah,
I had like that guy with like the high pitched voice or something.
Yeah,
it was like adjusted. I like that. I preferred that. The guy that does it now is kind of like,
oh yeah,
it's kind of a normal guy.
It's a lot like fun. Well, people had trouble with the Honest Trailers as well because the original guy who did the Honest Trailers voice, he was just like, "Hello, welcome to Honest Trailers." And then they went through a change and they tried to find a new guy to do it, and it took them a while until they found like the guy who's been doing it the longest. Mm-hmm. And now he's just like, "Hello, welcome to Honest Trailers, and this is an Honest Trailer." But yeah, people like all the shit that goes on the internet, man. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's like it's pretty much. You can go on there and literally find anything, especially on YouTube. YouTube, there's like, dude, you can even go to a video and find nudity. I mean, you know which ones that like a friend of mine said that his kid found that it was a children's channel, but on the channel it was a mother literally breastfeeding, like literally she was just sitting in a park, pulled her tit out, and just started feeding the baby right then and there. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that shit. If a woman wants to do that, like, feel free. But at the same time,
natural process.
It's a natural process, and it's good to be aware of it. But at the same time, there's some pervs out there that dig that shit. Yeah, there's some people out there. It's just like that one guy that just got arrested. Did you know what he was into? He was into injecting these guys. He was gay, by the way. He was into injecting these guys with drugs and fucking them while they were like super high on those drugs, almost comatose.
Yeah, isn't that rape?
Not if the guy has signed a thing. But here's the problem: some of those guys can't handle all the drugs in the system at the same time, and they die. And this hasn't happened once. It hasn't happened twice. It's happened now 3 times with this guy, and he's finally been arrested for it. You know, when you kill one person, I mean,
that'd be enough.
Yeah, when you kill 2 people, it's kind of crazy. When you kill 3, then now it's time to finally step in and do something.
He's just trying to live on the edge.
Yeah. I'm on the edge of something.
Living on a razor's edge.
Oh God. But that's the craziest thing, dude. I mean, there's people out there who are into some weird stuff.
Yeah.
I know there's some people out there who like the anime waifu thing, which I don't understand that.
Like, full discretion, like plane and helicopter type crash compilations it's a guilty pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. There's nothing wrong with that.
I have guilty pleasures of watching like near misses.
Oh,
like the ones where just like crazy ass carnage happens, and they're like I seen this one car. This car was flipping, rolling down the hill. Next thing you know, this guy just flops out and lands on his feet.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, there was also another one. It was I think it was it was a race that was happening in the UK somewhere. Car comes around a corner, loses itself, starts to flip. A photographer standing right there. Photographer then runs to his left. You don't see it, but there's a tree right there just off camera. He runs over right behind the tree, does this behind the tree. Car, pow, hits the tree, and then rolls off to the side. And he just stands there. He comes out. He's just like, whoo. Like almost
a tree will stop a car real quick.
Well, because it's rooted in the freaking ground.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty big tree, too.
So I've actually had an accident where if it wasn't for the tree, I might be dead.
Fair enough.
Trees will stop a car.
Fair enough, my friend.
There's a video that...
But I've overall, like, seen a bunch of crazy compilations and stuff like that that's absolutely just blown my hair back with just how ridiculous it can be.
Hey, Nick, pull up, type in helicopter crashes.
Oh, God.
It should be like there's like a busted up green helicopter. It should be like the first or second one. This one I saw. This is a new one that I had seen just like a week ago, whatever. And I didn't understand what the fuck they were doing, but it was really stupid. Let me see if you can find it.
There's actually a helicopter video out there that actually made me question myself.
Incredible helicopter crashes?
It shouldn't be like, I don't want the compilation. I just want let me.
Yeah, there's actually one that a helicopter video that made me question my.
Name is John Cena.
Sorry, I always die during those, but there's always something that makes me question my sanity. And this one, it was the helicopter video of where the helicopter blades were at the same speed of the shutter of the camera.
Yeah, so it just looked like it was hovering.
Yeah, it was like this new GTA mod needs some work.
This right here, this was a helicopter crash. Nobody got hurt, thankfully. Or certainly got killed. But there's just a lot of people around, and it's like, holy shit! How did nobody get fucking killed? Right? You know.
That's the question.
And also,
that's the $1 million question.
What
right
the fuck
there.
are they doing? So they're setting up, I guess, like this radio antenna or something.
Oh yeah, it's a towing. Yeah.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, they have this helicopter, I guess, lowering this cable. It's a little hard to see.
No, I see it right there. I see it.
No.
Oh no! No, I know what's gonna happen. I think I've seen this.
Fast forward a little bit, like skip like 30 seconds. Yeah, okay. So,
I don't think I can.
no, it's fine.
There it is! Oh shit!
It fucking gone. It fucking snags the cable, and it like you hear it once, it goes bam, and then
Turn it off, man! Turn it off!
I'd get that
poor
fuck
engine.
up.
I hear that engine. I'm like, oh.
I would jump out of that thing and run like haul ass.
Like whenever I hear like machines and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, poor engine. But
shoo!
Yeah, I don't know.
We knew it was gonna hit that cable.
Yeah,
though.
I knew that was gonna happen because what else do you think's gonna happen?
I don't know what the fuck they're doing though. Like, why do they have the helicopter hooked into this cable?
Probably to stand it up.
No, well,
it's already standing up.
Yeah. I'm talking about once it's stand up, they should release the cable and then
They should
land.
have like a release or something. On
Yeah, you release the cable, and then you land the chopper, and you reassess what you need to do next.
You got lucky,
what it looked
man.
like,
You got
like
lucky.
the
Nailed
cable.
it.
Yeah,
like
he's not. Yeah, he's lucky he's not dead.
Yeah, the blade hit it like once, and you see it pop a little bit, and then it hits it again because it comes in closer. The blade catches it, and it wraps the
around.
cord, and not you see that tail. Get
the tail
ripped
just-
off.
It's not gonna
Yeah.
cut the cable, and it's definitely not gonna cut
right
those
here, let's
propellers.
see. Right
You just see these guys like camping out there.
here.
Yeah.
There's the cable.
It was the cable.
You
that
can't really see the cable too well.
Real thin. If you type in helicopter crash cable, and you got like, especially if you have like a 4K monitor or something, you might be able to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's freaking crazy.
Like just like because most of the helicopter crashes I've seen, it's usually kind of in a big field. There's nobody around, but these guys are like
In the
10
city,
feet
yeah.
from this fucking thing.
Yeah, those blades always scare the shit out of me anyway. So
Yeah.
But
Okay,
anyways,
so the gaming Warthog just dropped $100 on you.
Woo!
oh
Woo!
shit!
Woo!
You said gaming
Gaming
warthog?
Warthog. Thank you, man.
damn,
So, hey guys.
like Halo Warthog.
Like this
Warthog? Said, hey guys, I just wanted to say congrats on 200K. I've been with the channel for a long time, and seeing y'all reach this goal on YouTube makes me happy, especially after just
thank you.
completing Navy basic training. Congrats.
Oh,
Thank
congrats
you.
on
I have
that.
some catching up to do. God bless.
looks like a puma.
So we'll check out the meme that came with it.
Yep.
Puma? What you talking about, boy?
Oh yeah.
I'm a warthog.
See, these are tusks.
Oh, this is bad.
Yaroslav Porta? Yeah? Lieutenant Carter Blake, I'd like to ask you some questions.
Shit, got over the sword.
You're gonna get away!
Stop that guy!
Sorry.
Hey man, watch out!
Fail. Incoming. Oof.
Nobody would be able to stop their car that
Good job. Good job. Fail.
quick. Is this basically just like not pushing the buttons or whatever?
Yeah, he's just pretty much just sat the buttons down. Oof.
He just misses every one of them.
Literally. Oof. Nice shit.
Misses all
I've
three
never
of them.
gotten that shit in movies when like the person running will just like stop to knock shit over the other person. They're slowing themselves down.
Yeah. Because he's just like, all he has to say is like, this guy chased him, he's kind of retarded.
I like the Final Fantasy music that comes with it.
Yeah. Oof! Just face plant. Did it again. I don't know why I thought that would work. Missed.
Like, why is he doing this?
Oh. Oh, God! Oh, jeez, Rick! Oh, jeez, Rick!
I've never understood that. That like when the person who's running away will stop, turn around, knock over like some plates or slippery object. I get it. Yeah, they're trying to trip a person up, but they're like wasting so much time in that process.
What was that? Nothing.
Something to where you can,
Tucker did it.
You know, like not stop running and just like grab a shelf as you run by and kind of pull it down behind you and keep going.
Yeah, no shit.
Into them. That's one thing.
Yeah, but that guy literally stopped dead and like
let me
pulled the
knock
out.
over every single tray of fish. It's got to be everyone.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is mess that up once, or they be good enough, and you're gonna get dove on.
Yeah. Clearly, that dude fucked up 18,000 times, and
he just sat his controller down. Probably,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
and just let the fate decide it for him.
Yeah.
Can't do that during the one scene because you will die.
Can't do that in Resident Evil 4.
Well, yeah, but during that specific chase scene.
Like on Resident Evil 4, if you miss one of them, you're dead.
Oh, yeah.
Those were some awesome cutscenes. I love interactive cutscenes like that. It's like,
yeah, the QTEs, quick time events.
I know people
dislike those.
Yeah, I know people
like
they say it takes away from the.
Well, I think in cutscenes,
it's annoying when it's so quick that you don't have time to react to it, and it's instant death.
Yeah.
And then you have to like replay the whole segment because you just didn't expect that to come
Whereas in this, there's certain scenes you fuck up enough times you die, but with stuff like that, it doesn't really matter.
Well, there's like Tomb Raider where it actually gives you enough time to react to it.
Yeah, it puts everything in slow motion, which is good because things fuck you up in Tomb Raider. It's always unnerving to see her like Lara Croft will fall in like one of those punji pit type things with all the fucking spikes in it, and you'll just see a spike just fucking go through her neck.
Yeah,
it's like
oh, we have another one there, Nick.
Yeah, this one's another one for Freelancer Dan, and it says it's for me.
All right, one for Nick. Let's see what.
Thank you, Lieutenant Dan.
Thank you, Freelancer Dan.
Well, there's someone in there. Who's that?
Uh-oh.
Guy, right? Yeah, there's a dying guy.
Sekiro.
It turns out that is pretty important. This is the first place I died. Let's stab. Okay. This is the other chicken. No!
Yep, that's right. The super chicken.
Fuck, motherfucker! Second chicken. What? Oh my god! That scared me. He worked his way.
Is this an RT thing?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, they played Sekiro, or Ryan did. Ryan played Sekiro, and everyone else watched.
Oh, yeah, I thought this was the other guy. Or was that RT animation as well?
Huh?
Was that other video RT animation?
This?
No, the other one we watched with
Doki Doki.
Doki Doki.
No, that was Game Boy. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, son of a... If you could sneak up on the chicken. Okay. Watch me stab this cock in the ass. Oh, I didn't even got it. He stuffed this chicken. There it is. That was for Colonel Sanders. Oh my god. You're alive. Ow. You stupid fucking chicken. Oh, you're growing. Fuck you, Peter Pan. Oh. Ow. Ah!
Laid an egg on his head.
Chickens are like the easiest enemy in the game, too.
Well, Ryan never played the game before. Ryan never played the game before.
They're a little intimidating when you first see them because you're like, Jesus Christ, it's a big chicken. But,
yeah, but
like once you figure out like you can literally just R1 spam them to death and they can't do anything about it.
Well, you're experienced and you played Sekiro through literally to death. Yeah. You beat that game till to the cows come home.
Yeah.
If there was a person I could pick to play Sekiro for me competitively that I knew personally, it'd be him, because he went through that game about 12 times?
4.
Okay, close enough.
Well, technically 5 because I fucked up once on the way I was doing the data, but it wasn't a complete 5th playthrough. It was like 4.5 basically.
That's kind of how I play games. I don't really I binge on it. I don't really pace myself on it. I just I fucking will play it and I will drive it into the ground until it's like, okay, I've had enough of this.
Well, that explains Mass Effect.
Yeah, Mass Effect, or lately was the Division 2.
Yeah.
I was playing that for a solid month and a half or whatever, just real hard. I loved it. It's an awesome game. It's just eventually there's a point where it's like,
I played through the Mass Effect franchise all the way through 3 times, but I played through Mass Effect 2 and 3 about 6 times.
It's
just so I could try and get every different scenario.
It's kind of it's kind of a thing where okay, do you want to play again all the way through, because with all 3 games, because obviously whatever you do in the first game, if you try and take that over, well, that basically resets everything for Mass Effect 2 and 3 and stuff. And so it's kind of is a deterrent to replay all 3 of them together. But.
Which I forget who I was explaining it to, but Mass Effect 1 is probably the most boring, especially for the first 20, 30 hours of it. It has its boring moments, but once the story really picks up and you actually get your character more into the mold that you're going to go with for the rest of the franchise, it picks up and gets really good.
The driving around every goddamn planet.
Yeah, and the Mako.
Especially the ones where the mountains are super jagged and shit.
Oh,
and
that dude,
trying to get the Mako.
I had fun. I had fun with that because every time I was going up the mountain, I was just like, "We're climbing up the mountain. We're climbing up the mountain." The Mako then runs out of gas, and then we're fucking dead.
Yeah.
And of course, in the first game, if you played through completion,
out of gas, don't you have a fucking
by running out of gas, I mean, we get to the point where it's so steep the Mako will literally not climb anymore.
Yeah, and then you try and hit the thrusters, and because you're at such a high angle, you fucking fall back, and then you fall. God.
Yeah, which.
So I was gonna pull this, but then and so I guess because obviously nobody liked that shit. In Mass Effect 2, they had it where you go to planets, but then you have to survey them, so you have to fucking spend whenever you start the game, basically go ahead and dedicate the first 4 hours of that game to just fucking going to every planet that you can and scanning them.
Well, I prefer the surveying over the pointless meandering around in the Mako.
It's faster, but it's still a necessary part that you have to do to upgrade your ship.
In which, here's the thing: tedious work when it comes to stuff like that.
It's not rewarding.
I don't mind. I don't mind doing a little bit of tedious work as long as the benefit is there. And by the end of Mass Effect 2, if you do everything right, the benefits are awesome.
The thing about though was with that system in Mass Effect 2 is it wasn't really clear. I mean, they have kind of rich in resources, and then it kind of gets low or medium, and that thing finally says depleted. Yeah. But there's no clear indication, so you could just waste 5 minutes just trying to fucking scan an entire planet and get very. It's I don't know.
It can be a little bit.
I'm glad they took out that whole stuff in 3. Yeah.
Well, but in 3 it also suffered because of the ending.
But the thing about 3 is Mass Effect 2 it has a lot of missions. It's good, and you have a lot of characters, so you have to do all those loyalty missions. Some of them are kind of tedious. I gave no fucks about, what was his name, Jacob or some shit. But
thanks. Don't give no fucks about me.
Not Jacob. I don't know what his name was. I think it's Jacob, right?
I think so. I think so.
Jake from Resident Evil 6.
Well, Jacob from Mass Effect 2, there are certain characters that honestly some people just could not give a damn about.
Well, that's what I was saying, dude. Every Mass Effect has 2 human characters on the crew, and you never fucking use them. You just don't they just. I mean,
I used Jake a fair amount. And I also used Miranda.
Right. Miranda was all right.
I like Miranda because
what's his name? The Marine.
Oh, in 3?
Yeah.
Vega.
Vega, that's right. He used
James Vega.
Vega's kind of cool, dude. But
yeah, well,
I generally stick with aliens. I mean,
well, of course. Well, I stick with like predominantly my builds are like heavy damage, like heavy biotics. And the heavy damage, I usually go with Garrus. Heavy biotic, I usually go with like our biotic specialist, whether it's Samara or whether it's Jack. Jack's a heavy hitter, but Jack's also a fucking psychopath, especially in the second game. But anyway, yeah. What we have any more memes there?
Well, we
Nick?
only see her a little bit in 3.
Okay, none right now. Okay.
She turns out to be a fucking high school teacher in Mass Effect 3.
That's true. That's true. She calmed down because effectively, depending on which route you take, I mean, if you do a relationship with her, that's one thing. But Jack seems to effectively have let go of a lot of her rage and has dedicated it into instruction, which can be a good thing, because I've ran into some instructors who were, back in the day, back when I knew them, when they were younger, absolute asshats who I could not stand being around because they were just so angry and so mean and so vile all the time. And now that they're teachers, they actually have developed into nurturing individuals. Actually, one of them, a girl I used to actually date back in the day, she's actually become an actually very good music teacher. And she's very good at what she does. But, yeah, but back when I knew her, dude, when we were dating, oh, God. That's one of the only ones I regret actually ever dating. My God. Yeah, indeed. I'm very, like, after everything that's been done and everything that's happened over the last, I don't know, I'm just thinking now, like now retroactively, over 200,000 subscribers, the good and the bad. The good, hitting 200,000 subscribers, and helping people out, and also having you all there, all of you, throughout all these years and everything.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So do much.
Yeah. Thank you all so much.
Are we at an hour?
I'm not sure. We're about an hour and 19 minutes in.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn, time flies.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. But
we got any other memes?
Not right now. No.
No memes.
No memes.
No memes.
No memes. Not yet, anyway. Watch Union get in here and send us a historical one. Another one. Another one.
They are funny though.
Do what?
I think did we talk about Gears of War 5?
No, I haven't
played it through yet. I've got it on Game Pass, and my Game Pass subscription ran out. No.
Waiting to renew it.
Yep.
I watched the game movie on YouTube.
But I would say probably tomorrow I'm gonna go and get it back. I'm wanting to experience it cooperatively, and because
I'd be willing to play through it with you.
I think cooperative is some of the best experiences I've had in video game history in general.
Well,
the first Halo, playing that cooperative with a friend was a fucking blast,
I'd be willing to play through it with you, man.
In my opinion, I've never really followed Gears of War, like, as a fan that much. I mean, I played through the first 3, but I mean, from what I saw in the fifth one, I mean, good acting, the scenes were done well, animation was good. I mean,
as far as everything I've seen so far, it looks great. I've had great feedback on it, and it gives a complete recap at the very beginning in case you missed out on some of the story elements. Let's say you didn't beat.
What's called now?
Yep.
What and do what?
Union.
Oh, really? I said his name and he has appeared. Union.
So congrats on
it's like
2K
Beetlejuice.
Subs. Now you have reacted to some more. Have you please react to text-to-speech devices, basically 40K British is one of these things.
Oh God. Okay. Oh yeah.
You have sullied your hands with filthy parchments of heresy, guardsman. How do you plead?
What? No.
Too late, heretic.
You inspire your men to study such foul smut, Commissar? You heretic!
Detestable mutants, fill your heads with such vile obscenity. Die, heretic! Maybe just one.
Sister, I need your blood to the... Oh, you're a heretic! You know what, they're just goofing around shooting each other. I guess maybe exterminate us among these heretics. Alright, fire!
Exterminatus.
Just destruction. Literal scorched earth.
Yeah, I mean, I've never played Warhammer 40k or anything, but like I've watched some of the lore stuff because I'm big into sci-fi and everything, but it just seems like like Warhammer 40k doesn't really care about like any kind of principle of like reality or whatever. They just like everything murders everything else.
Quite literally.
Point in the great darkness of the future, there is only war.
Yeah.
And here's another thing too.
War never changes.
War has changed.
No, war
nanomachines.
Yeah, war has changed. Now it is fought with the most
of life has changed.
Now they fight with probably the most metal of concepts. For instance, the orcs, which are probably the dumbest race of all the races in Warhammer 40k.
But also weirdly the most positive.
Yes, weirdly enough the most positive, but the most stupid. And here's the thing. They're the strongest psychics of any other race in the game, but they're too stupid to understand how it all works, and their technology that they have works simply because they will it to be so. That's how that works. That's how that works.
That's what I was saying. I mean, like they just doesn't seem like you can really.
We'll make it work.
Expect the game to follow any kind of logic. It's just whatever it works for the plot.
All of a sudden, this guy hops into this barrel that he's literally cut a hole into. He's like, "This is my new rocket ship. Watch it fly." Zoom, and it just flies off. Like literally, that's how it works.
God.
That's how it works with them.
Yeah. I just I heard in there like the battles or whatever, like humans die in combat or whatever by like the billions or whatever.
Oh, dude. Well, you got to think. I mean, humanity having an extra few thousand years to breed with unlimited resources and unlimited capabilities. No wonder. I mean, no wonder they've reached that.
I don't know
pinnacle.
if it's described. So obviously. The whole Terra or whatever is the Terrans, the humans basically.
Yeah.
They take after kind of the Roman kind of structure and stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean,
is it like an alternate history where like the Roman Empire never fell and it's just
it's semi-alternate because it has its own creation story, whereas instead of being created by God or anything like that, humans and several other races were created by these godlike race called the Old Ones.
Okay.
And the Old Ones were nearly obliterated by the Necrons, and they're basically star god type things, which were these beings that could devour stars.
Right.
And humanity in many thousands of years between now and in the future, all kinds of shit goes down. And there's this guy called the Emperor that was basically waiting, and he was an immortal, and he was just he wasn't immortal, but he was able to live a very, very long time, and he had been on Earth since today, just studying things and getting humanity ready for a great darkness that would come at some point, and able to guide them through it. And he found all religion to be
obsolete, pretty much.
Religion essentially was bad for mankind, and it made people fight each other and stuff, so he declared that all religion is outlawed. Then they got to a point where people thought he was divine and started worshiping him, and he's like, "No,
don't do that.
Don't worship me," and started blowing down all their churches for him and stuff. Just a bunch of crazy stuff.
It's pretty much like anti-God.
It definitely sounds like a lot.
A big war with these defectors that turned into the Chaos Marines. Now he's just a husk sitting on a throne that basically gives them psychic impulses and guides them subtly from behind the scenes.
Yeah. See, so where Warhammer has such a history, it's also, the 40k series, and it's also got its ancient history, the medieval stuff too. Yeah. So it's a huge jumbled pile of lore that I haven't even begun to explore myself.
And here's the thing about the Space Marines in that lore, they're pretty much gigantic 9-foot tall armored beef machines that have 2 hearts, 3 lungs, and are genetically engineered to be monsters, so that they can fight the orcs, they can fight the Tyranid, they can literally fight anything that comes in front of them, and they're purpose built for one thing: killing. and being metal as fuck.
I guess maybe it's just like, yeah, I definitely live in the plane of like Halo and Mass Effect, and so Warhammer 40K just like,
well,
just dials it up to like fucking 41.
40K.
Yeah, 40,
yeah, they 40K.
41K.
Yeah. So the thing with Warhammer is that it's had some good RTS games, but it hasn't had. It had a decent like character action / hack and slash beat 'em up. Back, I think it was like 2009, 2010, and it was good, but it didn't reach the levels of success of, say, a God of War or a Gears of War or I
played the RTS a long time ago when StarCraft 1 was out.
Yeah.
They had a Warhammer RTS on there, very similar to like Age of Empires. Great game. Right, it was really fun. A lot
of people say the RTSs are good, but I would like a campaign-based one that actually puts you into the different races. No matter which race you pick, you spawn as that race, and you have to fight battles against the other races, like the Tyranid or the humans or the Blood Marines or whatever. I mean, and just play through all of them. And I know that would take a lot.
Yep.
But honestly, there's some game studios out there that could handle it, but only if the Games Workshop would really work with them. Because
the weird thing about it is that's a case of definitely like you could not please everybody, because there are so many units and different kinds of warriors in each race that like I'm pretty sure everyone would end up like there would be a lot of people disappointed with the game in some way or another because they wanted to play as like the unit that they wanted to play as.
Well, yeah,
like,
but
you know, if I played as the Tyranids, I would probably want to play as either a Tyrant or a Zoanthrope. But like playing as a Tyrant would be weird because you couldn't fit through doors and buildings and shit. You know, so you see,
but you see that they could do that because they have destructible environment engines now. For instance, they've had them since Battlefield Bad Company, and they could effectively inject that in to a lot of these engines. They could use the Havoc engine. They can use all these different physics engines to make this game work. And actually, you could make different physics engines work with different races. I mean, and you could actually have the game play out that way. It's just, it would take a crazy amount of development and a team as crazy as, say, I don't know. I know people aren't really big fans of them right now, but if Epic took up game design again, given the amount of overhead that they have, they might be able to pull it off.
Well, they got the engine for it. So.
Yeah, they do. The Unreal Engine is a masterclass of just like infinite possibilities because of just how diverse and how like intuitive the Unreal 4 engine is. I mean, hell, they made Kingdom Hearts 3 in the Unreal 4 engine, for God's sakes. There's so many games that use it, and it's because it's so easy to use. Now, I know that a lot of people out there will say, well, what about this company or that company? I mean, if y'all can think of a good video game company that could do it, that has the numbers to pull it off and actually do a good job, I mean, hell, Epic's the ones who gave us the Gears of War franchise.
The thing is, if Epic makes it, I ain't buying it, because fuck Epic.
I know. That's fair enough.
I like the old Epic.
Hell, you know what? What about, I don't know. How about we get all the Sony studios to work together on it? Have like Sony Studios Santa Monica, which is the God of War franchise, work on the Space Marine game, and then we have Space Marine section of the game, and then you have Sony Studios Insomniac work on, say, the Orc section of the game, and have Sony just release the Warhammer franchise on the Sony PlayStation and just dominate.
That sounds like it would fall apart very quickly.
Who's to say, man? No, because Insomniac, Naughty Dog, and all these other video game companies, they work together very well. They collaborate.
Honestly, I think there just needs to be a very expanded Space Marine game, because like maybe like for the 3 races you could pick from, like humans, Eldar, or maybe Tau. And then there needs to be like battles against like all of the Xeno races, like that span large chapters of the game, and I think that would be a really fun game.
And this time actually include the Tyranid, right?
Yeah, because like when you get into like you know, both against the Chaos Marines and the Tyranids, it's almost like a horror game at that point, just because there's like, you know, I guess against the Chaos Marines would be more like Doom because they're like, you know, demons and shit. But
yeah,
the Tyranids would be like a horror thing.
That'd be Dead Space. That'd be a Dead Space game.
So
be the Zerg.
From like the lore that I've seen with 40K, like I never really kind of gotten a clear picture for like humans or the Terrans or whatever. I'm assuming they're the protagonists of the game.
No, there are no
really
protagonists.
No protagonists. Like the humans are actually kind of pieces of shit.
Right.
They're assholes.
Well, as far as humans go, is like I'm assuming it's the galaxy. Pretty much.
The closest thing to a protagonist apparently is the Tau, because they're like advocating for peace and stuff, and want like
they're the only ones.
Yeah, and want people to like talk shit out before they start fighting with each other.
Right.
Obviously, in a galaxy where
nobody does that.
Well, it definitely seems like the humans are full on like Inquisitor, fucking like Inquisition mode or something.
The humans view anyone that's not a human as basically a heretic to the humans' cause, and so they go for exterminating all of them.
So, like, are humans like as far as are they on the back foot, or is basically this? Like, it sounds like a 12-sided war.
It is.
Like, is it like the galaxy basically in a stalemate, or are humans winning or losing? Or
it really depends on the game.
I don't think it really matters.
It really depends on the game, because there is no race that's really at a disadvantage when the board game starts, because that's how it all started.
Yeah.
There's no race that's at a disadvantage when it comes to the board game, but the more you play the board game and the better you do at the board game, the more advantage you get. Now, they could have a game like that. For instance, they could do like a For Honor thing, where they include certain races and they bring them in later and bring the other races in later on. I'd like that. I'd like that a lot if they did something like that and it was completely skill-based online. But then again, there's people who find exploits and win all that in terms of For Honor. But
I think it would be cool if they actually just made, like, you know how Magic the Gathering now has like a couple of games that are basically just Magic the Gathering you can play online.
Yeah.
Like, they should do that for the tabletop game of Warhammer 40k and Warhammer. Like, so you can actually go on and like make armies by the legit tabletop rules and just have battles with people. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That would be
oh
really
yeah,
cool.
that'd be cool.
Especially if they had a good customization system in there to where you could like paint your models and stuff, and like mod your models and put like stuff you want to on them.
So we got any more memes there, Nick?
Oh, we got one.
Okay. Mr. Original.
He says, I think you realize where this is going.
The dank tins was fucked and killed by revolting animals. That's what happens next. You little shit. Also, guess what? China. He's still dead, but Hitler's angry mustache razor makes a new China called China 2. China 2. Yay, everyone said. The Phoenicians make some colonies. The Greeks copy the Phoenicians and make some Phoenicians. The Phoenicians copy their idea and make some Greeks, and then they made a colony so big it makes colonies. It's so big they make an empire called it. It's the Phoenician colony, and they believe in an egg. Just one, though. He's an egg. Ah, the Buddha. Knock knock, it's Chandragupta. He says, get the hell out of here. And the Buddha says, fuck you. Chandragupta, and Chandragupta says, time to conquer all of it. Buddha. Japan is getting so powerful they want to write a book about themselves now. China again. Gonna break again. Gonna turn again. Break again. China, there's the Gupta Empire. Not Chandragupta, just Gupta. First name's Chandra. The first,
no relation.
Chandragupta. He says, don't steal my name. You fuck. And then he conquers the Gupta. And then he conquers the Gupta Empire. And then he banned the Buddha from existing. And then he tries to...
He banned the Buddha from existing.
Christopher Columbus of Tinland. Smoking tin. Says, get the hell out of here. And Chandragupta says, no. And then Christopher Columbus goes to war with Chandragupta. And then they both died. Deep in the Arabian, on the top of an Arabian, the real Arabian whispers in Muhammad's ear. So he goes down to the Q Arabian, where everyone worships eggs. And he tells them their eggs are all fake. And everyone got so mad at him that he had to leave the planet and go to a different planet. We could make a religion out of this, and maybe conquer Finland as well. It's a bird, it's a plane. It's a microscopic speck. So everyone, we need the sun. They need
the sun.
Okay.
Wow. Jesus.
It's a bit much. Definitely a bit much.
Lord have mercy. That's crazy. So, all things considered, I mean, oh yeah, less brain cells, big time less brain cells. Yeah, what else do you think the thumbnail says what it does?
Yeah.
God. Yeah, it's about an hour and a half right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in, and also thank you very much for being here with us this whole time with the 200,000 subscribers. All 200,000 of you out there, if you ever do see this, thank you so much. And I guess until next time, everybody, that's going to do it. So signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Roan with a warthog that's going to smash into the camera.
Oh no!
And Nick is in the office. And we will see you later, everybody. Take care.
See ya.
That's the wrong one.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.